Very neutral.
Let me share something that I wrote towards the end of my vacation. I've been in our small town in Idaho for the last 10 days, surrounded by simple farmers, salt of the earth, people who rely on God for their crops, pray when to plant, pray for rain, then pray that there's not too much rain. They pray for heat, but not too much. Pray on to when to cut the fields, then they have to pray that there's no rain until you can bale it. Then pray for thanks, and then begin again. Most farmers are broke financially, yet spiritually, they're the richest people I know, for two reasons. One, you must be a partner with the infinite and trust that he knows what he is doing, because at best, you're still guessing when to plant, what to plant, and when to cut. Two, because someone around your farm is going to fail, even if you don't. And if you succeed this year, you may be the one that fails next year. Thus, you have a really important reason to love and help your neighbor, because everyone in this community knows, there but by the grace of God go I. As I watched these people on my vacation, I watched how they live, and I saw the solutions. Nations forget as they become industrialized. They move into cities and they no longer see the canvas of the master painter, the full expanse of the sky. It seems as we grow rich financially, the more arrogant and spiritually bankrupt we become. We no longer see ourselves as partners with the eternal. We begin to see life as dog eat dog, and our problems become bigger as our neighbors become smaller and then invisible. What a simple answer to our problems. Yet how difficult and possibly impossible to actually do without living on or near a farm. As I was in church today, I listened to the choir. For a while, I tended to church right there in Lincoln Center in New York City. And I remember the first Sunday that I went there, as we all began to sing, I thought that somehow the Mormon Tabernacle Choir was visiting my church, and they were all sitting around me in the pews. It was unbelievable to hear everyone sing in harmony. But that wasn't it. This church just happened to be the place, one spot on earth, where some of the most talented performers happened to attend church, because it was Lincoln Center and across the street from the Juilliard. Today, in this small town in Idaho, my neighbors stood up to sing. The farmers, the guy who works at the car lot, a few retired heroes, their wives, and their children. What I heard was what those at Lincoln Center would never describe as technically flawless. But the music I heard was more perfect than I had heard in any of the great concert halls. I carried that sound in my head all day, and I tried to understand why it affected me the way it did. There's something more to it than just the lyrics and the notes and the singers. As I went home that afternoon, I picked up John Steinbeck's Grapes of Wrath. That's when it hit me. Almost every word in that book is poetry. It's beautifully written. But you're left with the impression that he, as a writer, is almost mocking who and everything these Okies really are. I didn't know Steinbeck's history well enough to know his motivation, but in his writing I found the answer I was looking for. That song I heard at church today was the original. It was authentic. It was real. In the big city, it's easy to find things and talented people that can paint, act, write, sing songs that make your heart swell with that warm, sweet feeling of something bigger than you, me, or a piece of art. But most times, what you're finding is what I found in Steinbeck, a mere reflection or echo of the authentic art that those simple people in the small town with no names live in every single day. All the great American art, everything that was composed and painted, reflects the people I listened to in this small church on the edge of a town that maybe only has 2 stoplights. What we're looking for, we're finding in the wrong places. What we're looking for to uplift, inspire, and model is found in every small town. And I found it at the base of a mountain in Idaho. Real people who rely on something bigger than themselves and, in the end, also rely on each other. The world mocks these people and the way they live. The children, including me when I was a teenager, race to leave these towns and head to the cities. If you tell people you're going to one of these towns, people will tell you why. There's nothing to do there. There's nothing to see there. Those towns don't have any culture. Well, they would be right if you would believe that art hangs only on a wall. There aren't any museums. There aren't any concert halls or poetry corners or coffee clubs in America's small towns. There doesn't need to be, because the music is in the people's spirit, love, and charity. The art is in their weathered faces and calloused hands, and the poetry is in the way they live their lives.